Okay, our first class is beginners open. Beginners open. This one I've done first, which is going to scare Ken because he's a new member and he's probably put in too good a piece, really. So olive wood, beginners, an early beginners piece. African black walnut. I thought you said it was. I thought you said it was olive wood. Black walnut. Black walnut. Sorry, I thought you said it was olive. Right. Okay. No, whether you can see it. It's very nicely done. Nice mineral oil finish, is it probably? Yeah. Nice matte finish. The mortise is not too deep, which is great because it always spoils it when the beginners end up with a too deep a mortise, which is what we were just talking about. No obvious flaws and a nice little undercut, making it very pleasant to hold on to. So very well done for that one. Second was this one, which is a deliberately designed dressing table fit so that it's a drop fit rather than a tight fit. Lots of work in the bangle. Small points that just made it down a little bit is there are some slight finishes issues at the bottom, a little bit where you can see the lacquer marks. There's a slight. That was where a sticker was. It was where a sticker. Yeah, that's a shame, isn't it? And a very slight boss in the bottom, but for at beginners level, not much to mark it down. Just some very slight issues with the finishes that have just kind of let it down just a little tiny bit. The bangle itself is extremely good, and it's a good alternative use of the bangle. So. Nice little piece. Well done. That was second. Then we got two more. This one, I'm not sure whose this one was. This was this one. Oh, Kieran. Okay, where's Kieran? There he is, Kieran. Well done. This is down as your first bowl. So pretty obviously it's quite chunky, but at least the thickness is close to uniform all the way around, as opposed to it being a dog bowl. Because that's a classic beginner's piece, is to do a dog bowl, which is straight size, make the most out of the piece of wood. You've turned off the bottom, so you've obviously either reversed it or done a jam chuck, which is good. Very minor blemishes because it's a soft wood, but very minor in the bottom. Did you reverse it on the outside or did you use a jam chuck? Yeah, okay. Right, okay, yeah, fine. No problem, doesn't matter. Button jaws, yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's fine. And you've got some very slight sanding spirals in the bottom. Another 5 minutes, not holding the sandpaper fixed, but either using a rotary tool or just keeping the sandpaper moving would have got rid of those little spirals. You might not have even seen them, but I have. So very good. Fourth on this one was, whose was this one? David. An unusual piece of wood, not sure what the wood was. No, tree wood. And you said this was specifically done using a carbide. It was your second attempt doing a carbide. Right, okay. I didn't realize it was your second item, but so the little points to pick up on are it's very slightly dog bowl. So it's the sides on the outside are not parallel to the inside, which always slightly lets it down, although it is very nice and stable because it's got a big flat bottom. Again, classic happens, you start to undercut a little bit at the rim because of the way the tooling's going, and then it gets hard to keep going because it gets a bit too thin, so you stop because you're getting scared. But you've ended up with a very pleasant piece that we, on a table, be very useful for your nuts, so to speak. Very slight plucking on the inside, which is what you get with carbides. And the only way out of that is to resharpen your negative rake scraper and take a little skim off. Because if you try and sand out the slight plucking, you've got about 1/4 mil to sand out, which means you'll be there forever. Yeah, do it on a stick. Don't use it with your fingers. Stick with a bit of tape around it, Velcro, double-sided Velcro, something like that. Right, the beginners themed was a birdhouse by Mark Saville. There's only one person making a submission, so I felt it would be harsh to knock it back. Comments that he's made is he's left the inside deliberately rough because it's an actual birdhouse, so he needs to be able to get the birds to climb out. Yeah, right. Basically, it's a fairly simple design because it's just a hole bored through a branch, which is already splitting a bit. But it is a birdhouse, and it is practical, and it's got holes in the bottom to allow to be cleaned out and the crap to fall out. So yeah, it's a practical little birdhouse, which is great. So scored that first. Then we've got advanced, themed. We've got this one. Did that pull off? I can't remember now. Or does it unscrew this one? Just put it off. That's right. Yeah. Okay. So pleasant bit of colouring. Is it ash? Probably by the looks of it. Yeah. Minor points that let you down, even though I scored you first, is there's some little bits of profile at the bottom. It's not absolutely perfect, which, as Les says, smaller but better turned is better. See. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And a very minor point is that the die doesn't quite go through the hole. You either take it through the hole or don't take it through the hole, or you recut the hole after you've dyed it. Yeah, it's bleeding now. But would it work as a birdhouse? No, because the shite would build up in the bottom and there's no holes in the bottom. But okay, I didn't mark you down you first. Give me a lip and I'll mark you back down again. Right, this one, second. Whose was this one? Ah, right, okay. Yeah, a lot of work involved in doing it. Things I slightly marked down was because the inside wasn't actually turned. It's quite practical to make it as a piece of joinery to make it that way. Bloody difficult, I know. Yeah, I know. And you've got some nice detailing at the bottom. Yeah, the naughty boys, they face the corners. I didn't mark you down for anything to do with the plywood because I thought that was a really good piece of bonding and gluing and stuff. It was just that small point in comparison to the two. I thought there was slightly more turning in that one, slightly more joinery and hard work in this one. Right, okay, then there's advanced open. So this is a piece of London plain, just a simple little bowl, got a nice undercut, feels nice and smooth, highlights the lacewood effect, and just a very nice little useful piece. So that was Clive, was it? So I didn't mark you down. That was first out of one, so well done. Then we've got 3 in the advanced, no, 3 in the masters themed. The first place goes to Harvey, who is poorly tonight and had to cry off at the last minute. But this is his piece here.
I am here on Zoom.
Don't know what that was. Oh, right. Okay. Well done, Harvey, if you're there. Yeah, I thought this was, as is quite common with Harvey, well considered, thought out, artistic, lots of details, and I hate him. Yeah. It's a Gary Rance lathe he was using. Yeah. Yeah. It's a little tiny woodpecker. I mean, it's a lovely piece, well thought out. The sort of imbalance and everything actually produce a very nice piece, I think. So, as always, Harvey always wins when he puts in, which is why I'm going to shut that because I hate him. Right. Well done, Harvey. Then we've got 2 more here. We've got this fun item here, which scored slightly lower. The knob fell off in my hand, love. It's got some eggs in it. It's a nice bit of turning, a nice bit of pyrography, some minor little pluck marks on the inside, just tiny little pluck marks. At master's level, that always just takes you down that little tiny bit. Obviously, it's a fun item rather than one you put in the garden, I think. But yeah, I thought it was very nice. Nice little finial on top, a nice little. Yeah, the removable perch is excellent. So I'll make sure the top's on properly. And I like the stand, whether that was part of the assessment or not. But yeah, so well done, Paul. This one's Justin. I couldn't get the top off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and the reason for that is there's a great big tit in the bottom. Great big tit in the bottom, dome on the inside, where obviously you ran out. Yeah, so I was going to make you fifth, but seeing as I'm not that harsh, and I can, yeah.
No, it's rubbish. It's
Well, anyway, the fact that it's screwed on meant that there was clearly something going on inside. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But the bit of texturing, the bit of colouring, the iridescent, that all works well. You've deliberately kept the inside of the hole clean with a little detail around the edge, which you could have probably spent a bit more time trying to figure out, but I'm sure you got bored with it. Eh? Yeah. But it's actually a very pleasing piece to look at. So that's, I didn't score you down for an acrylic stand. And then somebody else is commenting on this one. John? And you've got to justify your decision.
Justify my decision.
It's my piece.
Oh, can I do it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You've got.
Yeah.
We've marked him down.
Second.
There's no theme. It's just
Okay.
one.
So what do we think of the finial? What does everybody think of the finial?
Well, we're going to talk about finials a bit later. Is that a finial? Wow.
It's not witch's hat. It's called Sultan's hat. That's what the piece is called.
Is it?
It looks much better that way up. Okay. I think it looks much better without the finial. As I'll talk about finials in a minute, I think that's fine. That's not fine.
We marked you down because of the finial. And there's quite a few of us who agreed with that.
Yeah.
Well, there's quite a few of us. So is it second or is it third? We are in masters here.
Finials at the moment. What I would say is the finial detracts from the piece. I'm not saying that the finial takes your eye away.
I would agree.
From the piece. I like the piece. It's well hollowed. Okay, it's well hollowed in that respect. It just doesn't need that. Okay. Or if it does need a finial, if you want to put a finial on, I would make 2 or 3 finials, because in my view, that's not the one that works on that.
I think you need it to go in for baking.
Okay. Okay, that's good though. Screwdrivers are quite good. Seriously, screwdriver handle stuck in the top, because then you get a balance and stuff like that for finials. Yeah. But as I'll talk to you when I do finials in a minute. I always quite like it when people put finials into pieces when I'm doing this demo, because it is all about the finial. When I look at that, I just see too much finial and not enough work, because I think that's really nice. I think that's really good. It's a really nice effect. You obviously went for the rustic.
Yeah. It's because it's probably not round.
It was a piece of ash that was moving. The top on the lathe a few times.
Well, it normally does, round.
Better.
It's the type of covering I like, where I don't know what I'm doing and I keep going until I get bored with it. It was pyrographised bird cut.
I think there's a moral to that. You should have a better idea. You should have a better plan, rather than just throwing stuff on there.
This looks like it's going from second to third.
Well, it's a bit like when you're colouring a piece sometimes, you put so much colours on that it ends up brown.
Yeah.
You put every stain on it ends up being brown again. It's sort of like, when you come in Photoshop, you go spend an hour on Photoshop and then you go, oh, it looks there, then you realise you press return to the original Photoshop.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I understand.
No, I mean, that's my personal thing on that. And as I'm the paid demonstrator, of course.
Not yet paid demonstrator.
The reason I'm still working is there's always a flaw in my plan. No, I mean, I think it's really nice. I do like the picture. It is well hollow. What Holloman tool do you use?
Well, I ultimately bought the Simon Hope rig in order to do
Oh,
that.
she cheated. We
Yeah.
were impressed.
Well, I did have to hollow a lot of it out without it, and then I thought, I'm either going to make this a smaller piece because Les says it's a really good idea, or get the rig.
Did you got the camera one or the laser one?
And the laser.
Yeah, see, the camera one is much better. I know you always say that. I'm sure you'll demonstrate it for the club somewhere, and we'll see somehow do it. The laser one is good, but it's not infallible
It's
when you
not.
want to go thin because it will bounce off the side a little bit.
And you do get ripples.
Yeah, yeah.
There you go, because that's the limit of the whole
But
thing.
no, I like that. It's good.
Thank you.
Can I do some work now?
Apart from the Finio.
Yeah, all right, then. Come on.
I've got this.
Yeah.
Have you done?
All over.
Raffle.